Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Welcome po sa ating munting channel, ang Inday Sara Survivor, ang taga-ulit ng balita. So, nung isang araw, napanood natin yung hearing ni Tatay Digong, no? Sabi, ang saya, di ba? Pero may mga iba pa rin tayong mga terminology na hindi natin maintindihan. So, ngayon, ang gagawin ko is, meron ako nakita sa TikTok na yung explanation niya about sa mga pangyayari doon. Saka samahan niyo ako at matuto tayo. Ito, let's go. Ay, bago nga pala, salamat po sa pag-subscribe sa ating channel. Ito po ang ating channel, Inday Sara Survivor. Ayan. So, sorry talaga, hindi pa talaga ako nakagawa ng page. Busy lang po. May mga lakad kasi yung, siguro after na lang this weekend, mamimigay tayo ng shirt. Ayan, ito po ang shirt natin. So, yun nga, ulitin ko, ang gagawin natin ngayon is sabay tayo mag-aral. Yung hindi pa natuto, so, panoorin natin to at pagkukunan po natin ng aral. Okay, let's go.
Ilan ko bang beses sabihin sa inyo, I take full responsibility. If you think that it is illegal or wrong, go ahead and file the case. I would be happy.
Okay, so what's up guys? I'm back for another video at ngayon po pag-usapan natin yung congressional hearing kung saan umattend po si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. At ngayon po meron lang akong mga highlight clips na gusto i-check kasi para sa akin po ito yung mga one of the most important and crucial discussions dun sa congressional hearing. Kaya ito lang po yung focusan ko kasi more or less dito lang naman po nag-revolve around din yung mga sagot ni PRRD. Okay, so panoorin po natin. Okay, yung first part po is Duterte versus Brosas.
Itong Davao model or Davao style, Mr. Chair?
I cannot control the semantics.
Mr. Chair, yes or no? Davao style.
Do not ask me to answer yes or no. You are not an investigator.
Mr. Chair, tayo po ay nasa investigasyon kasalukuyan,
Yes,
Mr.
but you
Chair.
are not an investigator. Why are you asking me to answer
Mr.
yes
Chair,
or no?
tinatanong ko lang na...
Okay, nagkainitan na guys. Yes or no kasi. Explain ko po muna. So, unang-una po, we have to remember in that situation, in this situation po, they are in a legislative inquiry in aid of legislation. Hindi po to criminal case investigation. Kaya nga po si President Duterte dito, he was invited as a resource person. And when you are invited as a resource person, yung rason po niyan is that yung mga congressmen or senators, they believe na you as a resource person, you have an expert knowledge, expert opinion on the subject matter being discussed, kaya kanila in-invite para makuha nila yung expertise mo. Okay? So,
Yun, in aid of legislation, di ba? Yun ang oras natin marinig. So, na-explain talaga dito ni attorney. So, di ba? Ganda dito, guys. Follow niyo siya sa TikTok.
ngayon na na-explain ko na yon, kung tingin po ba ninyo pasagutin ng isang resource person ng yes or no, lalabas po ba yung expertise or yung expert opinion ng isang resource person doon? Syempre hindi na po, di ba? Kasi conclusion agad eh. When you say yes, that is a conclusion. When you say no, that is a conclusion agad. So ano pa yung point that you will invite a resource person for his expertise if you just want to come up with conclusions agad? So, yun po.
Diba kasi yung habol nila doon, di ba? Parang gusto lang nilang, siguro, nasa harap si Tatay Digong, gusto nilang ipamukha sa kanila na ganun talaga ang mangyari. Attorney din yung Tatay Digong natin, fiscal pa, so alam talaga kung ano nandito. So dito natin maintindihan din yung mga term na hindi natin alam. Explain talaga dito, guys. Tingnan natin.
Kung ako tatanungin, dapat po hindi ganun yung line of questioning supposedly in these congressional hearings because yun nga po, as a resource person, they are experts on that subject matter. Therefore, dapat mapalabas yung expert knowledge nila on that subject matter. Kaya dapat po yung line of questioning, pa-explainin yung resource person para yun nga po, mapalabas nila yung expertise nila at in effect, makagawa po ng maayos talaga na batas yung mga congressmen and senators based on the information that they gather from numerous sources, including na po doon yung mga expert resource persons nila. Okay? So hopefully klaro po yun.
Considering your statement
Next,
of
Duterte
taking
versus
full
Luistro naman tayo,
legal
guys.
responsibility both to legal and illegal activities. Can I equate this statement of yours
ito guys, si Congressman Luistro, may narinig ako doon sa pinanood ko kay Sir Badong Aratilis. Sabi nila, magaling lang daw si Luistro kasi natabi kay Dan Fernandez. Kaya parang sa tingin ng iba, magaling yan kasi makasamahan niya si Dan Fernandez. So, kaya ganun ang explanation niya. Natawa ako doon guys. Kala lang daw naging mukhang magaling kasi si Dan Fernandez yung katabi or yung kausap either kasamahan niya. Nood ka daw kay Dan Fernandez tapos mapanood mo si Luistro, so mukhang magaling daw siya.
To an extrajudicial confession of guilt?
Well, in a sense, yes. Wala na akong magawa eh.
Are you saying yes, Mr. President?
Yes, because I ordered the campaign against the drug. At kung anong ginagawa nila, whether illegal or not, it was ako ang nag-utos. In that sense, I take that responsibility of their actions. Wala akong magawa eh. Commander ako, nag-utos ako, puntahan ninyo yan. Just like a commander, or not a military, police, iutosan mo.
Okay, so di ba kinlaro doon ni Congresswoman Luistro, makikita natin, is that considered an admission, a confession or admission of guilt? Sabi ni PRRD, in a sense daw, yes, that is, kasi yun nga, he is the one who instructed and gave the instructions for the policy on the war on drugs. However, we have to remember po na in extrajudicial confession, as mentioned by Congresswoman Luistro, meron po yung specific requirements para po ma-admit yan in a subsequent criminal case. Kasi an extrajudicial confession po, this is a confession done outside of a proper criminal case. And one of the requirements yan, diniscuss din yan actually ni Congresswoman Luistro pero wala na dun sa highlights, which is one of which is yung it must be in writing. Pero for argument purposes, let's assume na in writing nga yung confession/admission of guilt ni PRRD. In short, na-comply lahat ng requirements for an extrajudicial confession. Will that be sufficient po ba to convict PRRD as a guilty in the crime of kung ano man yung mga crimes na related dun sa war on drugs, may it be murder and other abuses pa na ginawa ng police officers. So, in a criminal case po, when an accused pleads guilty to a capital offense such as murder, meron pong specific requirements na kailangan yung batas natin. This was thoroughly discussed in the case of People versus Pagal po. And I remember this case po talaga kasi sinasabi during my time in bar exam review, lalabas daw po yung kasong yun. Unfortunately, hindi lumabas. Pero anyways, kaya ko po sobrang inaral yung kasong yun dahil dun kasi lalabas nga daw. Pero anyway, yun nga po, in People versus Pagal, the requirements were laid down there by the Supreme Court that when an accused pleads guilty to a capital offense, the first step po ng prosecution dyan is to conduct a searching inquiry. Ang searching inquiry po basically is the task or job of the prosecutor to conduct an inquiry as to the voluntariness of the plea of guilty ng isang akusado. So titignan po kung napilitan ba siya, naintindihan ba talaga niya yung actions niya, yung consequences ng pag-plea niya on guilty, and then after po niyan, nagka-searching inquiry na, di ba? Assuming may searching inquiry na. After po niyan, hindi pa rin po yan automatic na mako-convict agad yung accused because the prosecution still has to establish and submit evidence para po ma-establish yung degree of culpability or degree of participation nung akusado in relation to that criminal offense. So ano po ba ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin nun, kailangan ipakita pa rin ng prosecution kung ano yung participation ni PRRD dun sa mga subsequent criminal cases na ifa-file sa kanya. So let's say merong certain individual na napatay, tas nag-file ng criminal case dun, and then sabihin nila si PRRD was the principal by inducement in that case. Kailangan pa rin po establish ng prosecution how PRRD induced those police officers in killing that individual. So kung makikita po ninyo, there is a very strict requirements po when it involves capital offenses. Hindi po yan automatic na porket nag-plea ka ng guilty is ganun-ganun na lang yun. Kailangan pa rin po mapakita clearly. So in short,
Diba guys? Galing, hindi mo intindihan yung sa Congress kasi gusto lang natin, di ba, barahin lang ni Tatay Digong lahat. So dito, in-explain niya kung anong ginagawa ni Tatay Digong. Diba? Kasi minsan, gusto lang natin, sige, yan tay. Lakin mo yan. Pero dito natin maintindihan talaga. Diba? Salamat, attorney, ha. Paggamit ng video mo, sir.
Yung point ko po dito, yung ganyan po, let's again for arguments purposes kung na sabihin natin admissible nga yung confession na yun, hindi siya automatic agad. There are still requirements that the prosecution must clearly establish. And let's say kahit na nag-plea ng guilty, hindi naman na-establish ng prosecution na talagang in-induce nga yun ni PRRD as a principal by inducement na patayin yung ganyan-ganyan si ganyan. Despite the plea of guilty, hindi pa rin po makakonvict si PRRD kasi yun nga po, that is the second requirement in the case of People versus Pagal. And yung third requirement din po dyan sa case of People versus Pagal, pwede pa rin po mag-present ng evidence yung accused kahit nag-plea of guilty siya. So therefore, kung weak yung evidence ng prosecution, tapos yung lawyer, yung defense counsel nag-present ng evidence to contradict that, yun, matatalo pa rin po yung confession. So basically, yung point ko po dito, mahirap po talaga magpa-convict when it involves capital offenses. Again, I am not saying that PRRD is guilty or not guilty. I am just explaining po the realities sa ating criminal procedure. So hopefully klaro po yun. Now let's go on to the next.
Those that are within the bounds of law and those that are without in relation to the drug war.
I'm sure that it within the bounds of the law. And I take full responsibility. Huwag ka na maghanap ng iba. Ano yung 7-7 mo? Dito ka na lang tutok sa akin. Ilan ko bang beses sabihin sa inyo? I take full responsibility. If you think that it is illegal or wrong, go ahead and file a case. I would be happy.
Thank you.
Dito kasi tinanong kasi ni Congressman Gutierrez kung pwede ba niya ibigay yung name ng mga 7 na DDS yung death squad. Kaya ang sabi ni Tatay Digong, bakit ka pa maghanap ng mga yung 7, di ba nabanggit niya 7? Nandito naman ako, kung gusto nyo, diretsuhin nyo na ako. Kaya ibig sabihin ni Tatay Digong dito.
Tayo dito mag-drama niya.
So yun, makikita natin, diba, challenge ni PRRD na kung meron nga silang evidence, di mag-file ng case in court. And this is the reason why in-emphasize ko po dun sa previous Duterte in the Senate video ko na, yun nga, if there is strong evidence, there is a strong case, then just file po the case in court. Kasi regardless po kasi yung mga statements, out-of-court statements ni PRRD or out-of-court statements by third parties in general, yung magde-decide pa rin po talaga niyan is yung korte based on the actual facts and evidence submitted and established in a case filed. Hindi po yung mga nangyaring usapan sa ganito. Kasi yun din, in-explain ko rin to, in a congressional hearing, in legislative inquiries in aid of legislation, the function of such hearings is not to issue a judgment of guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Rather, it is for purposes lang of legislation to enact or amend laws. So, kung meron talaga silang strong evidence, better po talaga na idiretso na file in court para mas mabilis makakamit ng justice yung mga naapektuhan ng war on drugs. And if there is really liabilities po, merong lapses on the part of the police officers, yun, magiging liable naman po sila yun But again, that still has to be established in court. And i-discuss ko na lang din since meron po akong mga nakikitang ibang post saying na admissible yung ganitong statements ni PRRD, admissions in court. So, for argument purposes po, let's not question the admissibility of the evidence. Kung sabihin natin admissible nga siya, hindi ko na question yun, di ba? Ang next question kasi in the rule on evidence is the probative value or the evidentiary value of said evidence. Is it going to be sufficient to convict po ba or kulang po siya for a conviction based on guilt beyond reasonable doubt? So again, ulitin ko lang, medyo kulang po siya sa evidentiary value yung mga ganitong statements si PRRD because yun nga po, there is no clear identification of the victim, there is no clear identification of the criminal case involved. They are again general statements, general admissions. So despite its admissibility na tatanggapin ng korte, hindi pa rin po siya, sa tingin ko, hindi pa rin po siya magiging sapat yung evidentiary value niya para po ma-issuehan or para po magkaroon ng judgment based on guilt beyond reasonable doubt. And explain ko lang din, guilt beyond reasonable doubt means po na yung akusado talaga is guilty without question. Parang kung ikaw po, if you are a common person na titingnan mo yung facts of the case, the evidence presented, talagang masasabi mo na guilty talaga yung akusado. In short, wala pong ibang conclusion kang makukuha kung hindi guilty yung akusado. Okay, so hanggang dyan lang po muna tayo today, guys. Follow po kayo sa Facebook, YouTube, and dito sa TikTok. And see you all next time.
Ayun, follow nyo si attorney. So, salamat po guys sa pag-join sa akin. At least may natutunan tayo, diba? Hindi sayang yung oras natin sa panonood ng video na to. Salamat again. Pamimigay natin itong shirt na to guys. Inday Sara Duterte. Inday Sara Survivor. Promise ko next week gagawa na talaga ako. May lalakarin na talaga kami kaya hindi ako makagawa ng page kasi medyo busy. Ito, subscribe na po sa ating Inday Sara Survivor channel sa Facebook, YouTube. And salamat po kay Attorney Neil Abayon sa inputs. Okay. Thank you guys. Salamat. Please subscribe.